go. There we go. Here we go. There we go. There I go. Here we go. There we go. Here I go. Mm. This is Fresh and Funky Podcast, mainly done by me, like like my old hip hop homies back in the days. De La Soul used to say, "It's me, myself, and I." You know, a lot of times, you know, you can't expect somebody else to do you. You gotta do you. You know what I mean? I mean, some of y'all don't even care. And I'm not talking to people. Like in a way, it's like people. Everybody always counts about the crowd that comes, and the people that want to. You know, do you want to be remembered as that? Do you want to be loved or hated? I mean, that's the ultimate question. Like most people want to be loved, but then people, turn their backs on you or whatever. I mean, and then people that are hated, they're villainized, vilified, and then times they're have some sort of, you know, coming to terms moment maybe that makes them human or something. I don't know, but needless to say, I just do this because I love talking sports. I can talk it every day. I can talk it all day about a lot of different things. Could try to have some discussions about some topics and certain things, but that would be for another show and with other people, of course. So this podcast is all about just talking about sports, but things that have to deal with sports and stuff like that. So I know a lot of times, I've been flagged on here before because they said I had some medical misinformation. Well, I'm assuring you this, I'm not a medical professional, but I'm not trying to take from things that I don't know. I mean, most things that I'm saying have actually already been, there's been truth out there, and you could do your own type of research, whatever you want to, in my opinion. I'm not saying heads or tails for, I'm not saying not to. I'm just saying people need to do their own information and their own digging, their own due diligence. Make sure that you are not being lied to and misunderstood or misinformed and all that. So, you know, and I understand everybody has a right to refuse service. Right to, I understand business. I understand it quite very well. I don't own a business, but I understand it. Okay, I've had to work, be a part of it, try to make money, and try to do this, and try to do that. That's what business is: networking and trying to, trying to either grow your own business, or to help somebody else grow their business. So that being said, we'll get into the weekend. Was a great weekend of football. I should say. We had college on Saturday. We had it started Friday night actually. It ultimately started Friday night here, where we had the Pac-12 championship between Oregon and Utah, and these teams have played each other a short while before they played again. And Utah put a good whipping to them. And now this past Friday they they took another whooping in the Big 12 championship game. So Utah is your Pac-12 champions this year for the 2021-22 season. Oregon kind of had they had, their high moment was going and knocking off Ohio State, and so they had some pretty bad losses, obviously to Stanford, which Stanford, usually has a better football team, but this year, for whatever it was worth, they didn't really have that great of a squad. So maybe next year, Stanford, maybe next year. But news to say there, now Oregon, their coach has left because the coach for Miami, the Hurricanes, Manny Diaz, has been fired. And now they hired the coach from Oregon, Marco Cristobal. So now Oregon's going to be look to get bring in a new coach there. So I mean, I'm sure they'll get somebody, and they'll get somebody pretty good to come up there and keep up that tradition of keeping Oregon football alive. I'm sure of it up there. It's probably one of those valuable spots. Like if some teams become some teams come available. The coaching carousel. I mean, obviously you got LSU. You got you know Oklahoma's going to be coming available. Obviously, Lincoln Riley's going to USC. I mean, there's been some coaches have changed spots already, and some teams are looking to fill a need at head coach or obviously depending on they just clean house totally. It'll just be a total they're bringing their own type of personnel. But we had San Antonio. They beat Western Kentucky as well on that Friday, so they won their first conference US. I want to say Conference USA title. Yeah. And then on Saturday we had Baylor pulling the upset against Oklahoma State, winning 21-16. And then in the afternoon games we had Deion Sanders. His coaches Jackson State taking on Prairie View A&M, and Jackson State ended up winning that game. Deion Sanders' son got freshman of the year in the SWAC conference, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. They are part of the HB. They're part of the HBCU university, so they definitely go bowling, win their first title here, and Deion Sanders' first title as a coach, which is pretty big, a highly big honor. The Raging Cajun, they ended up beating Appalachian State for the Sun Belt title. In the afternoon, we had the Bulldogs of Georgia. They went down. And they got beat down. They got beat down in Georgia, where and it was an Alabama rolling tide that came in and rolled them. On the same score as last year, 41-24. Kind of eerie, right? Kind of eerie. And then you had, Utah State smacking down San Diego State. That was kind of an upset in a way, because San Diego State, they were ranked 19th in the country, in the nation, or whatever you want to call it, however you want to say it. So then the nighttime games, you had a real close game between Pittsburgh and Wake Forest. Well, it was close until the second half, and then Pittsburgh poured it on Wake Forest. Then you had the big game was basically Michigan and Iowa, and Michigan came to play, and they came home and they won it big here, putting a 42-3 beat down to Iowa here. And as we know it, Alabama got number 1, Michigan went number 2, Georgia got number 3, and Cincinnati got number 4. So we're going to see Alabama play Cincinnati. We're going to say Michigan play Georgia. A lot of people are not happy with that, and I'm one of those people that I kind of knew it, because the committee is biased. I'm not going to say it's they're more biased to the SEC, because the SEC has historical history. You got and in college and stuff like that, you have to. Yeah, that's what gets looked at historically. Like these colleges, like the Alabamas and the Georgias, these big name, they're going to carry weight when it comes to the playoffs, because they've experienced the ratings. It's all about ratings. It's all about money. It's all about money. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to have to burst people's bubbles here, but it's about the money. It's about the cash. Dollar bill, yo, dinero. You know. And so they weren't gonna have Georgia and Alabama play again in the first game of the playoffs, and then you know and then either Georgia or Alabama loses, and then you have Michigan, and so. But I mean, does everybody want to see Alabama Georgia again in a national title game? I mean, I guess it'll decide what the rubber match. You know, Alabama won the title game. Will win the big game if it's if that's what it comes down to. Georgia, and that's what most people are going to predict. I mean, you think Cincinnati's got a real fighter's chance against Alabama? I don't know right now. I don't think that's. I like Cincinnati. I like Desmond Ritter. I like the quarterback. I like the team. I like their fight. I mean, I love the teams like Cincinnati. Went undefeated. You know, yeah, there was a couple games there that they didn't, blow teams out that they probably should have, but they did beat everybody in their conference, and they did, win, and they, went undefeated. So they definitely, in my opinion, deserve to be where they're at. Whether it's going to make ratings or not. It's the same thing in NCAA. When you get NCAA, when you get the March Madness, you get everybody that loves to see the Cinderella teams. They love to see the underdogs. They root for the underdogs. People love the underdogs. They love a story, and That's what makes college football such great. And I wish all college sports, men and women's sports included, women's would get a little more shine and get just as much as attention as the male athletes. I believe there's some damn good women out there that have the skills just as much as a man has the skills. And and I'm just a believer that you know I, you know the men, yeah, they bring more excitement, this and that, but the women, man, hey, if it wasn't for a woman, how the hell do you think I would be in this world today? Us men, how the hell are we gonna be in this world today? Damn sure it wasn't coming out of our daddy's sack and his asshole. Okay, so let's put some respect on these women, and we should stand up for our women. Put the respect. Let them have the respect too. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not no feminist, and I don't like feminists because it's all bull crap. It's like you feed yourself what you want to feed yourself, and I always hate to get off on tangents when I'm trying to just talk sports, but I feel like that's what I have to do. But try to explain it in a way that I'm not getting angry or I'm getting crazily wild, but just kind of explain it like, hey, shit is serious. I've allowed shit in my life to go to craziness or, yeah, yeah, messed up teeth, my friends. And I got to live with that at the end of the day. I got to deal with the pain, hardship of probably going to die at an early age because it's not taken care of. But, that's not the only thing. And I'm not the only one. We all got issues and things. But if we act like we're better than someone else, and and we just want to be numb and dumb to the bullshit and to what's real and what's not real, that's our own fault. We can't blame anybody or anything else. Can't curse God, can't curse the devil, can't do this and that, whatever. You blame the government, blame Obama, blame Donald Trump, blame Joe Biden, blame whatever. At the end of the day, we have a choice. It's either we live free or we die. Or we die. We die facing oppression. And whether you want to admit it or believe it, we are facing that today. And there's just a disconnect. And it's just to marginalize a lot of things. Same thing in sports. We want to give people platforms and this and that. Well, let's stand for what you believe. If you believe a certain type of way, then you stand. And sometimes it's a risk. If what you want to stand where you believe in, and there's a risk. You might have to lose your job. You might have to do this and that. I know it's hard for people to say, well, I don't. But if you truly stand for, when you stand on your foundation and stand for what it means, then you'll stand. There'll be a way. You know? But a lot of us will waver on that shit. We'll cave in. Like, oh, you know what? And wonder why, standing for what you believe doesn't mean shit no more. Because most people stand for something, but then they'll back down or they'll marginalize themselves or minimize or however the case in point may be. And that's what we're faced with. We're compromising the compromise. It's just we haven't got anywhere. But we don't want to have that discussion or even say anything because it's frowned upon. Or we need to hush. Well, when's the hushing enough? When we're all fucking dead? Because that's what's gonna happen. I hate to break it to everybody. Newsflash. we all live forever. Don't care, if you believe that you're gonna migrate with a robot or go into some whatever. You physically are going to die. There's no stopping that. Even God and the devil can't stop that. So, and most people are like, well, we're talking about God and the devil. Well, that's because we like to interject that all the time. Just good and evil. Good and evil, the parables. Good, bad. So that's what we use. But we also deal with duality as well. People say one thing and want you to live one way, but then they live another way and do the opposite of what they believe. So it's people living in this duality and not expecting there to be a collision. But y'all are smart and y'all don't care. So let's get back to our let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Let me just say, college football. College football is generally great because you have a lot of stories. You got people that can walk on. People that earn a scholarship. People that try to, they want to make it to the next level. Just people that just want to help other people and just the good stories. The games generally there's I mean, it's just like high school. Generally you got people that want to win. I mean, generally you got your powerhouses, and then you got your mid-major type, school. Then you got your really low schools and stuff like that. But yeah, everybody loves a good story. Remember the Titans. Well, the Giants, Bad News Bears, SR Roughness, Major League, Mighty Ducks, the Miracle on the Ice in the '80s. The team that shocked the world and beat the Ruskies. The program, Blue Chips with Nick Nolte and Shaquille O'Neal. Above the Rim, White Man Can't Jump, Hoosiers, Hoop Dreams, Glory Road, Woodlawn. I can go on and on about all of these movies that were great sports movies. And they have messages, and that you have to we're gonna face adversity in life, no matter how good or bad we are, and sometimes we can deal with it in the right way, and sometimes we don't know how to deal with it in the right way, and it just you know, but we keep fighting the good fight, and so you know, college playoffs have pretty much been decided. The top four teams are already there. We got the other bowl games. We'll get into that. We'll discuss those in long details as the bowl season will unfold here. And the only other game that has to go is the Army versus Navy game. It's always usually the last game of the season before and then it's basically bowl season. So yeah, we'll break that game down. Go Army, fuck Navy, respectfully. Like I said, I have one of my best friends. One of my best friends that yeah, I don't talk to him, but he's still my best friend. I don't really talk to him as much because we live in two different towns, somewhere away. But he's a father and he has to deal with a lot of things, and I'm not. And I'm trying to get my little sports thing going. So hey, but needless to say, he went to the Navy and I went to the Army. So we can have friendly rivalry, but respectfully want that trophy to stay with the Army here. We had last year, and so we beat the Air Force this year already. So and the Air Force beat the Navy. So I mean, if the Navy wins, I guess it's a tie. Because the Air Force would have beat Navy, and then Army beat Air Force, and Navy beats Army, and they lost the Air Force. So they both that'd be just some weird ass shit. So needless to say, we got football tonight. We got Monday Night Football, and we got a great one. We have a great Monday Night Football game. But before we get into the Monday Night Football game, let's get into Sunday's main attractions. These were like the coming attractions to, a movie, let's just say. We had the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Jets here. You had the Top Gun theme going on with Gardner Minshew starting at quarterback. No Jalen Hurts. No Hurts so good. But we had Maverick or what I like to look. He would look like was more like Goose with his mullet and his haircut and all that. But needless to say, Gardner Minshew started out. He started out like 11 for 11 here, and he played a hell of a game. And the Eagles took care of business on the road against the Jets and won. So, yeah, kudos to Gardner Minshew for getting a W with his new team here after being traded from Jacksonville to the Eagles this year. The Eagles still have a chance in the playoffs now. So, well, still have a chance. And then we had the morning games here. We had the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. And as it always seems to be, we always either get up early on a team, and then they just storm on us, and the Lions got on top of us, and then we ended up taking the lead, and then what do? We choke it away. In historically Viking choking fashion, this season has been the choking away of games in late games. I mean, I don't even want to begin to start counting how many times we've lost a game by I missed it because we missed a field goal, by not getting a stop. Uh, could have had a. You start all week one with the fucking overtime with the fucking Bengals. And that debacle. And then, then Arizona when we had the chance to win it. Had a chance to win it. Had a chance to win it. And our field goal kicker just misses. But then we beat the Lions early in the season by a miracle kick by Joseph. Yeah. Same thing against the Packers. And against the Chargers. And then we lose heartbreaker to, the Niners when we had a chance to. And then we lose this heartbreaker to the Lions. And kudos to the Lions for getting their first win. And just for the whole city of the whole state of Michigan. You got Michigan Wolverines, making it to the college playoff the first time in a while. And then also, you know, kudos for Michigan, as most of you probably already know, you know, tragedy always happens everywhere. And, I talk about sports and all that. And and I'm tying this in because there was one of the victims of that, of that incident in Detroit was a high school football star that, was probably going to go somewhere, play college and, do great things. Well, now he can't because his life was taken. And it could have been prevented by a lot of things, but, we won't go into that on here. It's not what I'm not trying to poo poo on whoever. Obviously, hey, you know, they got him in custody, and then also, they got his parents, which, hey, sorry, not sorry. You guys fucked up. And the school should have had intervened or had somebody, I mean, if people are saying people are talking in certain language and certain verbiage, it needs to be taken seriously. There needs to be like, uh, an officer that will go in that goes there to have like they have health and wellness checks for people that 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 suffer from, to make sure they're okay, or just older people that may have dementia or whatever, and make sure that they're not they're not missing, that they're not gone. We need to start doing these things instead of having to always go through these tragedies again and again and again and again and again, and then they get politicized by politicians, and then people fall gullible into the thinking that these people are actually going to stand up and be accounted for and be leaders. And see, I'm already diverting off of sports, but kudos, and hopefully justice will be served, and hopefully we won't have to encounter these events. And it's not taking away the Second Amendment from people getting guns the right way. It's people that basically are being stupid and just having their guns just lay somewhere where anybody, their family members or somebody that's all of a sudden decides they just don't want to whatever it is, whatever the case and matters may be. It's just terrible. It's terrible. It's sad. It's tragic, and we need to be more proactive in our way of dealing with these things. Not like, okay, let's take away certain provisions or this or that, or demonize certain things, when it's people should be accountable for their actions. But our own government and our own politicians won't even take uh, accountability for their own actions. They'll just lie and plead the fifth, and then just I know. Yeah, YouTube don't care because those are your bosses. That's who pays you your money. Yeah, whatever. When they take you out, when they take this platform and then makes another one, and YouTube becomes irrelevant in the equation of a lot of things, you'll remember my video and you'll remember me for saying it. Now, we also had the Tom Brady taking care of business against the Falcons. Tom Brady just lighting it up here. Tom Brady just said, you know what, we're not gonna run today. We're just gonna pass the ball like grease lightning, and he had a wonderful game. And then we had the Chargers blowing up and beating down the Bengals in Cincinnati. So we had that transpire. We had the Indianapolis Colts basically beating down the Texans. So we had uh, we had the Giants losing to the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins keeping their winning streak alive. We had the Washington football team getting a victory over the Raiders to keep their playoff hunt alive as they play the Cowboys this week. So will be an interesting NFC East matchup, to say the least. We had we had the Rams taking care of business against the Jaguars. We had the Pittsburgh Pittsburgh Steelers taking care of business because Jim Harbaugh thought it was best to go for two instead of try to kick the extra point and then play on for maybe possibly overtime. And we had Sunday Night Football where we had the Kansas City Chiefs. They took care of business at home against the Denver Broncos. Yep. So we had a lot of good games leading up to tonight's game here against the Buffalo Bills are at home against the New England Patriots. Weather report here is going to be it's going to be windy. It's going to be 30-mile an hour, sustained winds with gusts up to 40 miles an hour, and it's going to be cold. It's going to be frigid. It's going to be a night, and it probably favors the Patriots here. But I'm not counting out the Buffalo Bills, man. The rowdy Bills Mafia, and the Bills. They've been kind of an up and down season a little bit here. But I think that I just think the Bills tonight. They can handle some business. I mean, they've been in this situation before. Obviously, Belichick's got the Patriots playing very well. Mac Jones is playing very well at quarterback, and he's basically taken off that offense. And they can run the ball. Their defense is playing, lights out. They're playing stellar Patriots shutdown lockdown defense. So it's going to be a game. It's going to be a game. I mean, I don't foresee it being a high scoring game. You know, definitely. If I was betting the game here, I'd definitely take the under here. The under, the under would be the safe bet for me because I just think that they're more of a. So let's look at the numbers here. We're looking at -3 here. It really hasn't changed much as far as the form of the spread. It was always -2.5, 2.5, 3 was always the number. And now we have an over/under total of 39.5. Oh, they're really trying to get They're really trying to get everybody to buy into the over 40 tonight here, which, like I said, I don't know what the weather conditions that they're going to be playing in tonight here. I'm I'm a believer in the under is going to be but who knows? It could be an over. Yeah. But me, if I was betting, and that's what we're gonna do. Right now we're gonna get into we get some make our picks here because it's pretty soon. I'm gonna make sure my lineups are complete. NBA here, NBA. We got college basketball here, but we'll do this here. We're gonna take a combined parlay. So there's not too many games in the. So we're gonna go with the under 39.5 here tonight. All right. Yeah. Under 39.5 in the Pats and Bills game. All right. So we'll move on from that to college basketball here. We got Illinois and Iowa here. Should be a real tough matchup here. Should be a real good matchup here. I think both teams have played tough schedules and have played tough basketball squads to get them ready for this game tonight here. And I'm gonna go with the Illinois side here tonight here. The plus 3.5 with the Illinois here. Make the noise with Illinois here. Plus the 3.5 on the spread here. All right, then we got the next game. We got Mercer at Coastal Carolina here. So we got a -2 for Coastal Carolina here, and the Mercer got +2. I said I definitely like that. I'm gonna take the Coastal. I'm gonna take Coastal. I'm gonna take Coastal Carolina here. Minus the 2 points on the spread here. I'm just feeling. I'm feeling that love there. All right, we have Townsend and Kent State. Um, I'm gonna take the over 131 here in this Townsend game here. This Townsend and Kent State game here. I think I think there is points to be had in that game here. If there's points to be had in that game. We got New Mexico State versus New Mexico. We're gonna take the Lobos here. We're gonna take New Mexico here tonight. The +4 here. I mean, I'd love to take New Mexico State. They are a solid basketball team here. We got San Jose State and Pepperdine here. San Jose State has actually done pretty well for us here. So maybe we'll take the money line here. We'll take San Jose State here. That's 165 here on the money line here. All right. All right. We'll just. We'll do that one here. We'll just make that. We'll make this six. We'll make this little 16 parlay here. Yeah, 6 team parlay here. Wager $1 here. We will cash out at 773 here. All right, so there we go. We got that one done here. And then we'll do our the NBA slate here. We'll do our own crazy NBA slate here. We'll do our NBA picks here. So that way we can get into make sure our NBA. Oh wow, there's already NCAA games on right now here. The Florida Gators, Florida Gators taking on Texas Southern Tigers here. Okay. All right. All right, so we got the NBA. We got the NBA here. All right, so. All right, here we got the NBA pick parlay. All right, here. We got the 76ers taking on the Charlotte Hornets here. 76ers are minus 7.5. Charlotte, I believe they don't have. They're without. I believe they're without 3 of their players here due to the vid, due to the some of these players have caught and they've gotten COVID 21, the vid 21. So if I'm gonna be taking the points on anybody here tonight, I think I'm gonna take the 76ers tonight here to handle business here minus the 7.5 minus 7.5 here on the spread here. I just think Sixers will get business handled tonight. Oh, hold on, we gotta make that's right. Then we have the OKC Thunder here, taking on the Detroit Pistons here. Pistons are, falling team here. All right, so Thunder Buddies versus the Pistons, and Pistons -3 at home. I I actually kind of like the over 204.5. I mean, it might not go over that. It might stay under, but I think there's some points to be had in this game. And definitely 204.5 is a very low number for both these teams. I'm taking the over 204.5 in the Thunder Buddies and Pistons game tonight. All right, we got the Wizards taking on the Indiana Pacers. All right, looks like the Pacers are at home, so they're probably they're -5.5 points. The Wiz, they've been, both these teams have kind of been, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of teams and stuff. But definitely two teams that definitely played tough last year towards the end. And I'm gonna go with in this. All right. So in this game, I like the over 211.5. I do. I do like the 211.5. I like the over 211.5 in the Wizards and Pacers game. I just think both teams both teams definitely could put some points up. It definitely could be a close game. All right, so next game we got the Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Miami Heat. Miami Heat, they're a team that, they're without Bam Adebayo, and the Grizzlies, they're without Ja Morant, but they're a team that is playing tough. And I do like the Grizzlies here. And tonight I'm gonna stick with the Grizzlies plus the 6 tonight here. I'm gonna say Grizzlies plus 6 points. Plus 6 points on the spread here. All right. We have Denver Nuggets and the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls are -1.5 at home. The over 214. I mean, there could be, but Denver has a lot of injuries right now, a lot of you know. So I think the Bulls. I think we're gonna take the Bulls minus the 1.5 here. Take the Bulls minus the 1.5 here. Spread here. All right, we got the Hawks taking on the Timberwolves here. I mean, both teams have kind of, but I'm I'm leaving Atlanta tonight. I'm gonna take Atlanta on the money line here. Take the Hawks money line here. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that game got taken off for me. Okay. Well, we'll go to the next game. Cavaliers and Milwaukee Bucks. Ooh, an interesting game here. A very, very interesting game here. Because I think Cleveland plays tough here. And Milwaukee's been a solid team, but every time I pick Milwaukee on the spread, they kind of did me wrong here. So I'm gonna go the under here. We're gonna go under 215 in the Cavs and Bucks game. All right. We have the Spurs and the Suns here. Spurs have been one of those, I don't know, one of those weird teams. They beat the Warriors here. They've been on a roll here. So how about we do this tonight? We take San Antonio here. Take the Spurs here. Take Spurs money line here. Plus 260 tonight against the Suns here. We got the Clippers and we got the Trailblazers here. Um, let's see. I'm gonna take the under 215.5 and the Trailblazers and Clippers here. Get the under 215.5. What's up, gangster? What's up, gangster?
What up? Just got back from Walgreens. The kid was hella young. He's like, I've never seen anyone do a beer pickup here before. And I was like, well, said we're dog sitting, so we don't really have a time.
Right.
So at least I got to be able to do it.
Right. At least you didn't do it. At least you didn't freeze to death.
Oh man, it was cold, but we went downtown to see the lights.
Yep. See the lights.
That's pretty cool. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Oakdale, but a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I saw the picture. That's what I was saying. I mean, it's just no, it's just probably a little bit bigger than Oakdale, but more of a.
If you want to pick, the games aren't on until 7:10. If you want to do tonight, there's quite a few games.
Dude, tell me why I was doing because I'm doing my picks thing right now, my little show, and I tried to pick the Hawks on the money line, and it told me that game's not on there anymore.
Yeah, they did the same to me earlier.
I was like, why is the Hawks and the Timberwolves game not on there? Why I can't? I could pick all these other fucking games, but
I'll know that you got time if you want to do.
yeah, I bet the fucking yeah, Clippers game. I'm on the Clippers game right now. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's gonna be the under
What?
the Clippers game.
What I picked? I picked under too.
Yeah, I just think it's gonna be under 215. I don't know. Dame Lillard's got an ab injury, and Clippers just haven't really been a good team all year. Trailblazers, same thing. They've been all right. It just I don't know. I mean, Trailblazers probably they play better at home, so I mean, if anything, Trailblazers. What?
You want to make a pick?
Yeah, I mean, I can make the picks. I mean, I already wrote down a couple of them already.
All right, I have it pulled up. I was gonna call you to get your picks, and then I gotta start. I'm doing the Mexican chicken tonight, so I gotta.
Oh shit, you doing Mexican chicken?
Yeah, I gotta get ready for that.
No, I just basically tonight. I just picked.
What? Has this or some shit? Or gone that long? Well, they're not used to me going anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere.
Damn, Orlando Magic. Holy shit. Damn, the Magic.
All right, so which one do you want to do?
All right, so I picked the I picked the under 215 and a half in the Trailblazers game.
Under 215 and a half.
Yep. All right. Then I picked San Antonio money line over the Suns.
Okay.
I picked the under in the Bucks and the Cavaliers under 215.
Under on the Bucks and Cavaliers. You said under?
Yeah, under.
Okay.
I took the Bulls. I took the Bulls minus 1.5.
It's -2 now.
Well, I'll take the 2. I mean, if I'm and basically I was gonna basically I'd have 2 to win anyway, so that works there.
All right, you got 24 bucks so far.
All right, then I picked the Grizzlies +6. Well, if it's still +6.
Yeah, it's +6 still.
All right. I took the Grizzlies there. All right. Then I took the over in the Wizards and the Pacers game. It was over 211.5. I don't know if it changed or not.
No, it's still 211 and a half.
All right. I took the over in the Thunder and Pistons over 204.5. And then I took the 76ers minus the 7.5.
So you just want to do 8?
Yeah, I'll do 8. I won't bet the Warriors.
Only one more. That's the Magic. One more game. So it's the Magic and.
Oh yeah.
God damn, you hung up money line at 1,005.
Yeah, I know. Shit.
God damn.
Spurs got lucky to beat the Warriors, but I don't think the Magic's gonna be that lucky.
I mean, you can do either the spread, it's -16, or you can do the over-under.
The Warriors to win by 16. Yeah, let's take the.
Or you can do money line Warriors. I mean,
No, we'll take the Warriors minus 16. I know it's a big number to cover, but
$634.
all right.
First all down.
Yep.
Alright, big money, big money.
All right. So the Bulls you said is 2, right? All right. So that way I That way I don't have the thing. All right, so everything else has stayed the same. All right, cool. So let's see. Hold on, let me. All right, wagered $1, right? All right, and then we cash out at $600. 643. All right, there we go. I figured I won't bet the college or the other one. I kind of did that on. I kind of did that pick on my own. It was only gonna be like $67 anyways. Because I basically, well, basically the college one I bet. Basically the college one I bet. College one I bet the under in the Bills game. I took Illinois plus the spread. I took Coastal Carolina minus the 2, and so yeah, I did a little six parlay with the game in there. So
Yep. I think there's gonna be more college games tomorrow. Yeah, like
oh yeah,
he's not getting back till tonight or whatever, and I know he's not gonna fucking kick them up, and then he has a game tomorrow, so
right,
it's gonna be and we've already had him for 6 fucking days.
right. Yep. Yeah, yeah, the my boogies. Yeah, I think mom had the right. You're like what the fuck, motherfucker? Yeah, yeah. All right. I'm gonna read off my bets here tonight and sign off my little podcast here. Yeah, that's what I did basically too. All right, so let's run it down. The 16 parlay I did with the college basketball and NFL. I did the under 39 and a half because I think it's going to be an under game in the Bills and Patriots. I picked Illinois plus 3.5 because I think Illinois is a good basketball team. Iowa's a good basketball team too. It's going to be a close game. I took Coastal Carolina over whoever the hell they were playing -2. I took the over 131 in the Townsend Kent State. I took New Mexico plus the 4, and then I took San Jose State money line.
Yeah, so I picked San Jose State money line, and
Because they're a pretty good basketball team. They're actually a pretty good basketball team. I picked them. I think I picked them over the weekend or whatever. They won by 25.
I picked New Mexico money line, San Jose State, and I picked Illinois, and then I put it with the Patriots.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only $35, but shit, $35. I don't fuck that. So.
Yeah. Well, you never know. I mean, it's you start very little and then you basically win. And then NBA, yeah, NBA had the Sixers -7.5. Had the over 204.5 in the Thunder game. Had the over in the Wizards and Pacers game. Got the Grizzlies +6. Bulls -2. The under 215 in the Cavs game. Spurs money line. The under in the Clippers and Blazers, and then the Warriors -16.
I just want to win something. Shit, we ain't won in forever.
I know. It's been ages.